Look in the mirror. Who do you see? Do you see a rational person? Do you see someone who makes logical decisions? Someone who is in control of their own destiny? If you said yes, then you are already under the spell. You are suffering from the oldest illusion in human history, the illusion of control. Welcome to Clean Slate Audio. Today, we are going to perform surgery on your mind. We are diving into the most dangerous book ever written by the modern Machiavelli, Robert Greene, The Laws of Human Nature. Greene spent a lifetime studying power, seduction, and war, and his conclusion is terrifying. He says that underneath your polite smile, underneath your civilized clothes, there is a beast. A beast driven by envy, by narcissism, by aggression, by irrational emotions. You think you are the master of your house? No, you are a puppet, and your emotions are pulling the strings. But here is the good news. If you can see the strings, you can cut them. If you can understand the dark laws that govern human behavior, you stop being a victim. You stop getting hurt when people betray you. You stop getting angry when people lie to you. You become an observer. You become a master. In this deep dive, we are not going to summarize every chapter. That would take 10 hours. Instead, we are going to give you the 4 keys to unlock the minds of everyone around you, including your own. Key 1. Mastering your irrationality. Key 2. Spotting the narcissists before they destroy you. Key 3. Seeing through the masks people wear. Key 4. Channeling your dark side into power. Are you ready to see the truth? Take a deep breath, put on your X-ray glasses. Let's look at the human animal. Let's start with the first law, the foundation of everything. The law of irrationality. You like to think you are logical. When you buy a car, you think you analyze the fuel efficiency. When you choose a partner, you think you analyze their compatibility. But Robert Greene says, you are not a rational being. You are an emotional being who thinks. Neuroscience backs this up. Your brain has a primitive core, the limbic system. It is millions of years old. It feels fear, anger, lust, and greed instantly. Wrapped around that core is the neocortex, the thinking brain. It is new, it is slow, and it is weak. In a street fight between your limbic system and your neocortex, the limbic system wins 99% of the time. The mechanism of the trigger. Let's look at how this happens in real life. Imagine you are at work. You present an idea. Your colleague, Dave, looks at his phone while you are speaking. Instantly, your limbic system fires. It interprets Dave's action as a threat. He doesn't respect me. He thinks my idea is stupid. He is trying to humiliate me. Your heart rate goes up. Your face gets hot. Cortisol floods your blood. This is called the hijack. At this moment, your intelligence drops by 20 points. You are no longer a sophisticated professional. You are a wounded animal ready to bite. You might make a snarky comment. You might shut down and stop speaking. Or you might go home and complain to your wife for 2 hours about Dave. But here is the truth. Maybe Dave just got a text that his daughter is sick. Your emotion created a reality that did not exist. Greene calls this the low-grade trance. You are walking through life in a dream, reacting to every shadow, every noise, every perceived insult. And the worst part? Because you think you are rational, you make up excuses for your bad behavior. I didn't yell because I have anger issues. I yelled because he was incompetent. This is rationalization. It is the lawyer your emotions hire to defend their crimes. The strategy, awakening the inner Athena. So, how do you break the spell? Ancient Greeks had a goddess named Athena. She represented wisdom, strategy, and cool-headedness. Greene says we all have an inner Athena, but she is asleep. We need to wake her up. Here is the 3-step protocol to master your irrationality. Step 1. The 2-4-hour rule. This is non-negotiable. When you feel a strong emotion, whether it is anger, excitement, or sudden love, do nothing. Do not send that email. Do not sign that contract. Do not text that person back. Emotion fades with time. Logic grows with time. Force your slow neocortex to catch up with your fast limbic system. If you are still angry after 24 hours, then maybe the anger is justified, but 9 times out of 10, it will vanish. Step 2. The autopsy of emotion. Be a detective of your own feelings. Don't just say, "I am angry." Ask why. I am angry because Dave looked at his phone. Is greater than, why does that bother me? Is greater than, because I feel ignored. Is greater than, why do I hate being ignored? Is greater than, because my father never listened to me. Boom. Now you see the truth. You aren't fighting Dave. You are fighting a ghost from your past. When you identify the source, the emotion loses its power. Step 3. Accept people as facts. This is the hardest step. When a rock falls on your foot, you don't get angry at the rock. You don't say, "This rock is evil." You just accept gravity. People are like rocks. They are like weather. If someone is rude, that is their nature. If someone is flaky, that is their nature. Stop wishing they were different. Stop trying to fix them with logic. Greene says, observe them like a scientist observing a lab rat. Oh, look, the subject is angry again. Interesting. When you detach, you become invincible. No one can push your buttons if you disconnect the wiring. Now we move to the second law. If the first law was about your brain, the second law is about your heart. The law of narcissism. Here is a hard truth. We are all narcissists. Don't deny it. From the moment you were born, you needed attention. If a baby doesn't get attention, it dies. As adults, we still crave that attention. We check our phones to see if anyone liked our photo. We fish for compliments. This is normal. Greene calls this the narcissistic spectrum. Most of us are in the middle. We have a healthy level of self-love, but some people slide off the deep end. These are the deep narcissists. They are not just annoying, they are dangerous. They are emotional vampires who will drain your life force until you are a dry husk. To survive, you must learn to spot them. The taxonomy of toxic narcissists. Robert Greene identifies several types, but you need to watch out for these 2 deadliest variants. Type A, the grandiose narcissist. These are easy to spot. They are the loudest people in the room. They talk only about themselves. They interrupt you constantly. They exaggerate their achievements. I did this. I know him. I am the best. They seem confident, but it is a lie. Their self-esteem is actually incredibly fragile. They need your admiration like a junkie needs heroin. If you stop clapping, they get depressed. Or they get violent. Type B, the covert narcissist, the victim. These are much harder to spot and much more dangerous. They don't brag, they suffer. Oh, I have such bad luck. Everyone treats me so badly. I do everything for you, and you do nothing for me. They weaponize guilt. They want you to feel sorry for them. They want you to rescue them. But no matter how much you help, it is never enough. There is always a new crisis. They control you not with strength, but with weakness. If you try to leave them, they will say, "How can you abandon me when I am so sick, sad, lonely?" Strategy, the Grey Rock method. So, how do you deal with these monsters? Strategy 1. Do not try to change them. You cannot fix a deep narcissist. Their defense mechanisms are too thick. If you criticize them, they will gaslight you. They will say, "You are crazy. I never said that." Strategy 2. Cut the supply. The narcissist wants a reaction. They want you to cry, or yell, or praise them. If you give them emotion, you are feeding the beast. You must become a grey rock. Be boring. Be flat. Be uninteresting. That's nice. Okay. I see. When you stop reflecting their image, they will get bored and move on to a new victim. The antidote, visceral empathy. But this law isn't just about avoiding monsters. It's about transforming yourself. If narcissism is the disease, the cure is empathy. Most people think empathy is just being nice. No. Greene defines visceral empathy as a superpower. It is the ability to leave your own body and enter the mind of another. It uses your mirror neurons to literally feel what they feel. Exercise. The deep listen. Next time you are in a conversation, try this. Stop thinking about what you are going to say next. Stop judging. Look at their face. Look at the tension in their jaw. Look at the sadness in their eyes. Ask yourself, what is this person afraid of right now? What was their childhood like to make them act this way? When you do this, your energy shifts. People feel seen. They lower their defenses. They trust you. The deep narcissist is alone in a hall of mirrors, only seeing themselves. The empathetic person is connected to the entire human race. Which one do you want to be? We have explored the irrationality of the mind. We have explored the narcissism of the heart. Now we must step out into the world, and the world is a stage. Welcome to the third law, the law of role-playing. Let's start with a definition. The word personality comes from the Latin word persona. Do you know what persona means? It means mask. In ancient Greek and Roman theater, actors wore large masks to portray different characters. A happy mask, a sad mask, a king, a beggar. Thousands of years later, nothing has changed. Every morning, you wake up, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, and then you put on your mask. You put on the mask of the professional employee, or the loving partner, or the cool friend. You adjust your voice, you hide your tiredness, you fake a smile for your neighbor, and everyone else is doing exactly the same thing. This is not a bad thing. Society requires masks. If we all walked around saying exactly what we felt, I hate your shirt, I want to sleep with your wife, I think this meeting is useless, civilization would collapse in 24 minutes. Masks are the glue that holds society together. But here is the danger, the mortal danger. We are naive. We confuse the mask with the reality. We fall in love with the mask. We vote for the mask. We hire the mask. And when the mask eventually slips, and it always slips, we feel betrayed. I thought I knew him, you scream. No, you knew his persona. You never met the man underneath. To become a master of human nature, you must stop being a naive audience member. You must become a backstage observer. You must learn to see the actor behind the costume. Robert Greene teaches us that while people can control their words, they cannot control their biology. The limbic system, the emotional brain we talked about in part 1, is honest. When you feel fear, your pupils dilate. When you feel contempt, your lip curls. When you feel confident, your posture opens. This happens in a split second, faster than the conscious mind can hide it. We call this leakage. The truth leaks out through the cracks in the mask. In this session, we are going to give you the dictionary to read this leakage. We are going to break down the human body from the feet up to the eyes. Get ready. You are about to see the world in high resolution. Most people think body language is about looking at the face. This is a rookie mistake. The face is the least honest part of the body. Why? Because we are trained from childhood to control our faces. Don't make that face. Smile for grandma. Look interested. We are experts at lying with our faces. If you want the truth, you must look where nobody is looking. You must look at the feet. 1. The honest feet. Millions of years of evolution have programmed our legs and feet for one purpose: survival, fight or flight. If we want to stay, our feet stay. If we want to leave, our feet prepare to leave. This wiring is still active today. Imagine you are talking to a colleague. He is smiling, he is nodding. He says, "Yes, I really want to hear more about your project." But look down. Are his feet pointing at you, or are they pointing at the door? If his torso is facing you, but his feet are twisted away, he is lying. His brain wants to leave. His feet are already walking away. Only his mask is still talking to you. This is the most accurate lie detector in the world. Also, watch for the happy feet. When someone gets good news, a winning card in poker, a text from a lover, their feet will often wiggle or bounce slightly. It is an uncontrollable release of excitement. If a negotiator says, "This is my final offer, I'm not happy about it," but his feet are bouncing, push harder, he is happy, he is bluffing. 2. The torso, the shield. The torso contains your vital organs, your heart, your lungs. Your brain instinctively protects this area. When we like someone, we ventral front them. We expose our torso, our belly, our chest to them. It is a sign of trust. I am not afraid of you. When we dislike someone, or when we are defensive, we shield. We cross our arms. We hold a coffee cup in front of our chest. We turn our body slightly sideways. This is blocking behavior. If you are pitching an idea to your boss and he suddenly crosses his arms and leans back, stop talking. You have lost him. He has put up a shield. Do not keep pitching. You must change the subject or ask a question to get him to uncross and open up again. Words can lie, the angle of the torso cannot. 3. The hands. The conductors. The hands are the conductors of our speech. Evolutionarily, showing your hands means, "I have no weapon." Open palms are the universal sign of honesty and submission. Liars and manipulators often hide their hands. They put them in pockets, they put them under the table. Why? Because the brain is working so hard to invent the lie that it stops animating the hands. Or, they will use pacifying behaviors. When the brain is stressed, because it is lying or anxious, it needs to soothe itself. Watch for these signs. Rubbing the neck, a sign of extreme discomfort or doubt. Touching the throat, protecting the most vulnerable area, common in women. Wringing the hands, self-comforting. Cleaning the legs, wiping imaginary dust off their pants. This is a reset button. They are trying to wipe away the stress. If you ask your partner, "Where were you last night?" and they look at you and say, "I was working late," while rubbing their neck and hiding their thumbs, be suspicious. 4. The voice, the soundtrack. Before we get to the face, we must listen to the music. Voice is harder to fake than words. When we are stressed, our vocal cords tighten. The pitch goes up. When we are confident, the vocal cords relax. The pitch goes down. Deep voice. But the biggest tell is silence. Honest people are not afraid of silence. They pause to think. Liars are terrified of silence. They feel the need to fill every gap with noise, with details, with excuses. "I was at the office, and then I saw Bob, you know Bob? And we got coffee, and the traffic was terrible." Too much detail is a sign of a lie. The liar thinks, "If I give enough details, they will believe me." The master of human nature listens to the rhythm, not the lyrics. Now, finally, we look at the face. But we do not look at the expression, we look for the micro-expression. These are flashes of emotion that last less than a second. They appear before the mask is put on. The smile. Duchenne versus Pan Am. There are 2 types of smiles. The fake smile is called the Pan Am smile, named after the flight attendants who were forced to smile. It involves only the mouth. The zygomatic major muscle pulls the lips up. It looks polite, but the eyes are dead. The real smile is called the Duchenne smile. It involves the eyes. The orbicularis oculi muscle contracts. It creates crow's feet, wrinkles at the corners of the eyes. You cannot fake a Duchenne smile easily. The eye muscles are involuntary. If someone smiles at your success, but their eyes don't crinkle, that is not happiness. That is envy hiding behind a mask. The eyes, the windows to the soul. We all know about eye contact. Liars look away, right? Wrong. Liars know that you think they will look away, so they do the opposite. They overcompensate, they stare at you, they lock eyes and don't blink enough. It feels intense. It feels unnatural. Normal eye contact breaks every few seconds. Predatory eye contact is a laser beam. Also, watch the blink rate. When the brain is processing a lot of information, calculating a lie, the blink rate changes. It might stop completely, the stare, and then followed by a rapid-fire burst of blinking, the release. Blink, 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 blink. That burst is the brain rebooting after the stress of the lie. Decoding the shadow, the ultimate reveal. But the most powerful technique Robert Greene teaches is catching the shadow. The shadow is the dark side of the personality that the mask tries to hide. It consists of our insecurities, our aggressive impulses, and our forbidden desires. The shadow is always trying to escape, and it usually escapes in 3 specific situations. Situation 1. Stress and fatigue. When people are tired, or drunk, or under extreme pressure, they don't have the energy to maintain the mask. The nice guy who snaps and screams at the waiter, that is not a mistake, that is the shadow coming out. The loyal friend who gets drunk and makes a cruel joke about you, that is not just the alcohol. The alcohol removed the gatekeeper. The joke is what they really think. Situation 2. Power. Power doesn't corrupt. Power reveals. Give a quiet man a little bit of power. Make him a manager. Give him a badge. Does he become a leader, or does he become a petty tyrant? Abraham Lincoln said, "Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." Watch how people treat those who can do nothing for them. That is their true face. Situation 3. The leakage of envy. Envy is the most dangerous emotion because it is the most hidden. Nobody admits to being envious, but you can see it in the microaggressions. You share some good news. I got the promotion. Watch their face instantly. Do you see a micro frown before the smile? Do they say, "Wow, great, you're so lucky"? Notice the word lucky. They didn't say, "You deserve it." They said, "lucky." They are subtly diminishing your achievement to make themselves feel better. This is passive aggression. This is the shadow leaking out. If you see this pattern, be careful. This person will not support you when you fall. They will celebrate. Conclusion. The art of impression management. Now, you might be thinking, this is dark. Is everyone a liar? No, everyone is human. And that includes you. The law of role-playing applies to you too. You are also wearing a mask. The goal of the sovereign individual is not to drop the mask and expose everything. That is foolish. The goal is to master your own performance. Be aware of your non-verbal signals. Are you crossing your arms and looking defensive? Open up. Are you frowning while listening? Smile with your eyes. Use your mask not to deceive, but to connect. To be a master of human nature is to be a master actor on the stage of life. But unlike the others, you know it's a play. And because you know the script, you can never be tricked again. We have reached the final and most dangerous law, the law of aggression. Let's start by destroying a lie you have been told since kindergarten. You have been told that aggression is bad. You have been told that anger is a sin, that ambitious people are greedy, that conflict is toxic. Society trains you to be nice, to be polite, to be a good citizen. Robert Greene looks at this and shakes his head. He says, "This is a lie against nature. Look at the animal kingdom. Look at history. Look at the most successful CEOs, generals, and artists. Aggression is not a mistake. It is a biological engine. It is the fuel in your tank. Without aggression, you cannot protect your family. You cannot build a business. You cannot change the world. A man without aggression is not virtuous. He is harmless. He is a victim waiting to happen." But here is the problem. We live in a crowded, civilized world. We cannot just hit people with clubs anymore. So, we are forced to repress this energy. We push it down into the shadow. But energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change form. When you dam a river, the water doesn't disappear. It builds pressure. And eventually, it finds a crack. In modern society, this pressure leaks out as a toxic sludge called passive aggression. And because everyone is repressing their true nature, we are swimming in a sea of passive-aggressive warfare. In this final session, we are going to do two things. First, we are going to teach you how to spot the passive aggressors who are trying to sabotage you. Second, and more importantly, we are going to teach you how to unlock your own controlled aggression. We are going to turn that toxic sludge back into rocket fuel. Let's enter the battlefield. Passive aggression is warfare without weapons. It is the strategy of the weak and the fearful. They want to hurt you, but they are too afraid of a direct fight, so they use plausible deniability. If you confront them, they say, "I didn't mean it like that, you were too sensitive." Robert Greene identifies specific types of passive aggressors. You will recognize them immediately. Type 1. The subtle saboteur, the insinuator. This person uses words as needles. They give you backhanded compliments. "Wow, your presentation was actually good." For someone with so little experience. Did you hear that? They praised you and stabbed you in the same sentence. "I love your dress. It's so brave of you to wear something that tight." This is designed to plant a seed of doubt in your mind. If you get angry, they win. They will say, "I was complimenting you." Defense. Do not get emotional. Look at them dead in the eye and ask for clarification. What exactly do you mean by brave? Force them to explain the insult. They will panic and retreat. Type 2. The flake, the procrastinator. This is the coworker who is always late. The friend who always forgets your birthday. The partner who promises to do the dishes but falls asleep. You think they are just disorganized. Greene says, no. This is an act of power. By making you wait, they are controlling your time. By forgetting your important event, they are telling you that you don't matter. They are venting their anger at you by being incompetent. Oops, I didn't send that email. Sorry. It wasn't an accident. It was a subconscious attack. Defense. Stop accepting their apologies. Judge them by their actions. If they are late twice, start the meeting without them. If they forget, stop relying on them. Cut the cord. Type 3. The guiltmonger, the saint. This is the most dangerous type, often found in families. They do things for you that you didn't ask for, and then demand payment in guilt. I stayed up all night worrying about you. I sacrificed my career for you. They act like a saint, but they are actually a loan shark. The currency is your freedom. They want you to feel so guilty that you never leave them, never disobey them. Defense. Recognize the transaction. You didn't sign this contract. You do not owe them your life because they chose to sacrifice. Be grateful, but be free. Type 4. The gaslighter. This is the highest level of passive aggression. They do something to hurt you. You confront them, and they deny reality. That never happened. You are imagining things. You are crazy. They move your keys and tell you that you lost them. They flirt with someone else and tell you that you are jealous. Their goal is to make you doubt your own sanity. Defense. Trust your memory. Keep a journal. Write down what happened. When they try to rewrite history, you have the record. Do not argue with a gaslighter. Just state the facts and walk away. Now, let's look in the mirror. Because the law of aggression applies to you too. If you are a nice guy or a good girl, you are probably repressing your aggression, and it is killing you. Repressed aggression leads to depression, anxiety, and physical illness. It turns inward and attacks the host. So, what is the solution? Do we become violent? Do we start screaming at people? No. That is animal aggression. That is weak. The sovereign individual practices controlled aggression, the philosophy of the sophisticated savage. Imagine a great athlete, a boxer, or a CEO like Steve Jobs. Are they nice? No. Are they out of control? No. They are intensely focused. They have a killer instinct. Greene calls this ambition. Ambition is just aggression with a plan. Here is your 3-step protocol to weaponize your dark energy. Step 1. Define an enemy. Humans are tribal animals. We fight better when we have something to fight against. If you are feeling lazy or unmotivated, it is because you don't have an enemy. Your enemy doesn't have to be a person. Your enemy can be poverty. Your enemy can be mediocrity. Your enemy can be the person who said you would fail. Use that anger. When you wake up tired, don't say, "I want to go back to sleep." Say, "If I sleep, the enemy wins." Visualize your enemy laughing at your failure. Let that anger push you out of bed. It is cleaner fuel than caffeine. Step 2. Attack the problem, not the person. This is the difference between a child and a master. A child attacks the person. You are stupid. A master attacks the problem. This code is broken. I will crush it. Take all that aggressive energy and focus it like a laser beam on your work. Be aggressive in your learning. Don't just read a book, devour it. Be aggressive in your career. Don't wait for a promotion, take it. Be aggressive in your negotiations. Don't ask for a fair price, demand your value. When you direct aggression at a task, it becomes passion. People love passionate leaders. They follow them. Step 3. The velvet glove over the iron fist. This is the ultimate secret. You must have the iron fist, inner aggression. You must be willing to fight, to say no, to walk away. But you must cover it with the velvet glove, outer civility. Be polite, be calm, smile. But let people sense the steel underneath. The most powerful people in the room are not the ones shouting. They are the quiet ones who look you in the eye and say no without blinking. People respect them because they sense the potential for danger. A harmless man is not respected. A dangerous man who controls himself is revered. Conclusion. The end of the puppet show. We have reached the end of our journey through the laws of human nature. We have learned to tame the irrational beast in our brains. We have learned to break the mirrors of the narcissists. We have learned to see behind the masks of society. And we have learned to channel our aggression into power. What is the final result of all this knowledge? Freedom. When you understand these laws, you are no longer a puppet reacting to strings. You are no longer hurt by the bad behavior of others because you expect it. You are no longer a slave to your own emotions because you control them. You have attained the state of the sovereign individual. The world is a game of chess. Most people are pawns, moving blindly, getting eaten. You are now the player. You see the board. You see the moves. You see the future. This has been the extended masterclass on Robert Greene. Do not just listen to this video, live it. Go out there. Observe, analyze, and conquer. This is Clean Slate Audiobook. The class is dismissed.